Hello, everybody. How are you this fine evening? Thank you for joining us for yet another exciting edition of Those Natural Ones. And we are actually coming to you live on TikTok for the first time. So not only are we at twitch.tv/Those Natural Ones, youtube.com/@Those Natural Ones, kick.com/Those Natural Ones, trovo.live/s/Those Natural Ones, but we were also on our TikTok live. Hopefully the quality isn't too garbage considering we're streaming to 5 different places, but that's all right. Thank you all for joining us. Unfortunately, we are down Sam tonight, but we did get our Perry back. So lose one, gain one, I guess. Hooray. Maybe next week we'll have everybody here. Anyway, before we get started, Scott, you want to talk about the things?
Yeah, I got things to talk about. We have 763 YouTube subscribers today. Yay!
That's fantastic.
I did my research on 763 and is of millions of adults in the world, according to UNESCO, that cannot read. 763 million. We at Those Natural Ones are all for adult literacy, so we're gonna go ahead and pledge that if we can get 10 of you new people to sign up on Patreon this month, we will teach both Nick and Perry to read.
Yay! I've been waiting my whole life.
If we only get 5, we'll flip a coin and teach one of them. So 10 new patrons on Patreon by the end of the month, and we will have 100% literacy here at Those Natural Ones. Patreon.com/Those Natural Ones. Many levels to sign up for. Base level includes Discord access where you can watch us chat, if you can read, during the live show. But we do share GIFs, which are hilarious, even if you can't read. Many different levels. One of those levels is a weekly shout out to everybody at our Mistra level or higher. So once again, thank you, Les and Flora Marlatt and Don Marlatt, for your continued support. Patreon.com/Those Natural Ones. Check it out. I uploaded brand new merch for the quarterly merch items. That's so in about 3 months, people are going to be getting some cool new stuff.
That's right.
If you're at the right level.
Yeah,
check it out.
Spoiler-free review, I saw some of that merch, and it's freaking awesome. So thank you for that. Other than that,
and really, I'd like our DM to be able to read.
It might be helpful for what I do.
It'd be great. He's doing this all by memory now.
Exactly.
Visual plotting. And some would think, Perry being a former teacher and an author, he would know how to read, but I've read his stuff and it's pretty much, uncomprehensible.
Well, not knowing how to read will do that.
Yeah. So patreon.com/Those Natural Ones. Please sign up so we can teach our fellow cast members how to read.
Indeed. Thank you for that. And when not on Patreon, where else can they find us, Emery?
Assuming you can read, you can interact with us on. I don't know why we're attacking claims of literacy tonight, but
763, Emery. 763.
763. That is a lot.
The universe told me that's what we were going to talk about.
There you go.
Hey, you know what? It is always relevant to make sure that people know how to read.
Hey, Sam said no more angel numbers. So I had to go to page 3 of Google.
Oh, God. You somehow navigated past the first 2. Again, assuming you can read, you can interact with us on Facebook. You can
actual
God
research.
Fantastic.
Actual research was done. You can interact with us on Facebook. You can interact with us on Twitch. Not Twitch. But
Twitch.
Yeah,
Twitter.
Yeah, you can talk to us on Twitch. I'm on there. Go ahead, talk to me. I'm
Definitely
lonely.
talk to us on Twitch.
Me and Daddy Bezos are very lonely in Twitch.
Jeffrey Bezos.
I think I'm starting to realize why the other billionaire is trying to come up with a different name like X, because Twitch and Twitter a little close. But yeah, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Threads, Butch's very own blog on Tumblr. You can also listen to the audio-only version of us wherever podcasts are spread around the world. You can also, again, assuming you can read, sound off in the comments wherever our videos are. Like, as we mentioned already, TikTok, as we have gone live, YouTube Shorts, our regular YouTube video.
We have 762 now, so apparently I pissed off somebody that
God
can't
damn
read.
it.
Oh, no.
Oh, what have you done?
Thanks for that.
You were
Scott.
upset by our
Thanks for
attack
that,
on
Scott.
literacy. Just know that none of us.
That's what I get for trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
I think we've made a huge mistake.
No good deed goes unpunished.
All right.
Ouch.
Thank
But
you.
yeah, you could just sound off in the comments in the chat on Twitch, and Kick and Trovo, and YouTube.
And TikTok. now.
Remember and TikTok, our TikTok live, which we're now live, and also our TikTok videos. Remember to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. For YouTube, hit the bell for notifications, and make sure when you hit the bell, you do not hit personalized. You hit all, so that way you never miss an episode.
Exactly.
Any and all engagement helps us out a ton. So sound off in the comments and prove to us you know how to read.
Thank you for that, Emery. And we apologize to any of our illiterate fan base out there if we offended you.
We're on thin ice right now.
Computers are so smart they can, you can talk to them and they can type it for you.
That's right. So,
That's a
High
good
quality
point.
gatekeeping here at those natural ones.
all right. So, lastly, two final announcements before we get into this insanity. Firstly, like we said, we are live on TikTok for the first time. Unfortunately, it is not quite the same experience. So you guys who are watching us on TikTok, you're just seeing our Discord. You don't get all the overlays and the maps and the roles and all that fun stuff. You have to go check us out on one of the other platforms to see that. Secondly, our next in-person sitting around a table rolling real actual dice, Friday, April 26th at 7 p.m. So continuing the plot here. I'm working on something special. I hope I can get it done in time, but I'm working on something a little special for that one. So make sure you put that on your calendar for Friday, the 26th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I think that's everything. So Sam's not here, but she did still do her job, and she did still write up the recap. So I'm going to do my best to read what she wrote and be concise and not say too many times.
Wait, did you just say read?
It's actually
It's a miracle.
It's being spoken to me in my earpiece.
Okay.
It's just, I was about to say, our DM is proving his literacy right now.
It's our it's our interns are reading it to me, and I'm just reciting. I'm Robin
I smell
Burgundy.
fraud.
Anyway,
it's into his earpiece.
last session, beginning in day 5 of our journey through the Feywild, Arnon faced exhaustion from his night stealing the sword back as he and Elric examined the tracker. Elric noticed that Arnon once again had the sun sword, and Arnon stated that it just felt like the right thing to do. With Butch removing curse from Arnon, he was able to give up the sword via mage hand. It was placed into the bag of holding. Arnon confirmed that he was free of the sword, attuning to Elric's flame-tongue scimitar before promptly taking a long rest to recover. After more cooking lessons from for Butch, some failed spookiness on Gwen's part, and a heartfelt conversation between Elric and Orpheus, the party was set upon by gnomes astride unusually sized hummingbirds, all pulsating with an odd technicolor light. After a brief exchange of strikes, a gnome lands on our deck and proceeds to be Takis, one... That's written very oddly. One of the first kind and normal comparatively and chill
Patreon.com/those natural ones.
people
Teach Nick to read.
we've met. Yes, shut up. God damn it.
You can do it, Nick. I believe in you.
Really
I'm glad you do.
Recap.
After the conversation, we concluded the session, still on the way to Astrazalion, with the gnomes returning to their journey.
Not beating the allegation.
You're welcome. It's all part of the thing. All right, so as you guys labeled them, Top Hum flies off. You guys are still in mid-flight over the canopies of the Feywild. Looking around, you are seeing, like I said, endless oceans of multicolored trees. Consistent twilight no matter where you go on a steady southeasterly heading. The ship is yours. What are you doing?
I feel a strange need to play volleyball. What about you guys? Maybe like shirts and skins?
I think I still have my old dog tags. I really feel like wearing them right now. No shirt.
I could go for a hot shower.
I am so tempted to just join the crew of Top Hum.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I could join the crew.
I'm going to pull an impossible maneuver.
I was inverted.
You're inverted? Impossible. There's no way you could have gotten that picture.
Anyway.
For the
I wasn't a
younger
fan of
audience,
Tuckus.
we're talking about the prequel to Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
A prequel.
I'm just going to fall overboard.
Elric just slides off the deck, just free fall.
I free fall and seek my
Flying
fortune
squirrel.
elsewhere.
Suddenly from the helm, you hear the captain yelling, guys, this crystal's doing some weird shit. You might want to come take a look at this.
Ooh.
Run
Take a look.
right over to take a look.
I will also run right over
As
with
you-
my amazing expertise in Arcana.
As you run over, you see that the crystal that you handed him, that the weird fey creature gave you, saying that it would lead you to the Twilight Coven. You see it's now pulsing, where before it was pulsing with a couple second in between. You see now it's almost pulsing a little more erratically, like there's one woo, 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 woo.
We probably should have asked how this thing works.
May I roll my Arcana?
Absolutely, you can roll your Arcana.
I'll do it too. I'm trying to figure it out as well.
I got a
Butch,
4 on the die, so I have a 4 total.
Butch, you have no idea what this thing's doing. It is as fuzzy as your camera right now. Hey, suddenly you're crystal clear.
That's a 14 for Arnon.
Arnon, you're not familiar with this type of enchantment or this item. You've never really dealt with anything like this before. It's definitely doing something different. Whether that means you're getting closer, you're not quite sure.
Maybe it's more like one of those TikToks where they add a note and add a note until you guess what song it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the frequency of its intermodal changes has increased.
What?
If this is supposed to indicate proximity, then it would stand to reason that the closer we are, the more often it would blink.
Yeah, why is it like at a different pattern now? Do you know, Arcane Wizard?
Person
Gotta
who should
call him out
probably
like
know
that.
this thing. uh, just for a poop and a laugh, I'll roll Arcana.
Does
By the
my
way, we are-
suggestion count as help?
We are currently up to 25 live viewers on TikTok, so welcome to
TikTok.
29.
Hey.
We're up to 29, so welcome to all 29 people currently watching us on TikTok.
TikTok really is where it's at.
Yeah.
All right,
If you'd like the full overlay, check us out on the Red app or
The
other
purple.
places we stream.
purple app.
Purple?
Yeah. Elric with a 13. Unfortunately, you're not too familiar with this either. This is not something you've dealt with in the past.
I think there's a green app.
I'm going to continue to make an assertion that what I think is happening is correct, regardless of how little information I'm going off of. I need to assert that I am sure of something.
If I
What
go
are-
get Gwen,
What
could
are
you
you
give us some guidance?
asserting?
It's at this point that I remember that I am proficient in Arcana, and maybe I should take a look at it.
Fucking go for it. Nobody else has been able to, so
That's
we're up to 89 on TikTok. 89 live viewers. 90,
Let's go.
96. Keep it up.
and I rolled a 4 on the die.
Orpheus,
And a
No.
plus
None
7,
of
and I
you.
rolled a 4.
none of you have any idea what's going on with
gun.
this. You were
We're
given
real good at this, guys.
you were given this orb and told by a shady fey creature that tricked you already into giving up 3 words, and using those words to escape his imprisonment in the Fey, as it seems. And none of you bothered to ask how this thing works.
Yeah.
He
that's
just
pretty smart.
You just assumed when you said you needed a way to track down this covet of witches, and he gives you this orb, and that was the end of the deal. And yeah, unfortunately, none of you really are familiar enough to know exactly how this thing works.
Well, I mean, the NPC also did skedaddle ASAP. We
That
didn't
too.
really have much time to ask him questions.
Yeah, Gwen tried to say, "Can I?" And then,
Yeah,
can
God.
I ask how this works? And she couldn't get it out.
yeah, he.
And Elric was like, "Wait, don't leave." Oh,
Yeah,
But he didn't
I
say that.
definitely didn't use that word.
yeah.
he
he
dipped-
tried to. He just couldn't.
He dipped real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy.
And-
So,
Yeah, I definitely said don't leaf like a leaf.
Yeah.
so
well,
like, the Dinky Blinders, they didn't seem to think that the Sealy Court was such a good idea. What do you guys think?
Dinky blinders.
Wait, the Dinky Blinders.
Yeah,
I thought they were top hum.
Of course.
a thing can be two things.
Thing can be two things.
You missed Dinky Blinders? I think Dinky Blinders came before Top Hum.
Yeah,
I don't
Dinky
know.
Blinders.
That's true.
Dinky
I
Blinders.
actually remember Dinky Blinders being
Look,
a thing.
Yeah.
I just haven't made the Dinky Blinders logo yet. Okay, I made Top Hum. I haven't made Dinky
Yeah.
Blinders yet.
Yeah, we sold Top Hum pretty hard. Dinky Blinders definitely fits more with like the visual aesthetic, as they are known
Yeah.
with like bowler
Bowlers.
caps.
Yep.
Yeah. I was gonna take Chris's AI image and make a Dinky Blinders logo, but see it. The Top Hum one was easier. Let's just put it that way.
Against all odds.
So,
Would you like me to channel the power of a goddess to find out how our device works?
I mean,
She might
she's always
know.
She's always good for a little cryptic input.
Cryptic input. It's probably going to be like, you should have asked, you dummy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's worth the materials.
Materials.
Sahanine
Yeah,
is doing the divine
divination
version
costs.
of.
Are they consumable materials?
Yeah. That's why I don't do it that often.
Huh.
Divination's not free. That would be way
It's
too
not free.
powerful.
It's not free. It's not cheap.
No.
No.
That would be
No, I could do-
way too powerful. That would be like anytime you guys get stuck, I'm just going to divine what to do next.
Yeah.
Have a god just hold your hand.
Right?
Well, I mean, how far are we from the Sealy Court?
You're still like 6 days out.
We could just see what it's doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you guys think we should skip the Sealy Court? I mean, we need a Fey, an Archfey, if we're going to try to get out of here at the same time we came in.
Here's what I'm thinking. We go speak to the Sealy Court, likely get wrapped up into their political machinations, hopefully get tasked with a side quest, which gains us more knowledge of what's going on. Maybe some fun encounters, hopefully no deaths. And then after finishing said quest, they will provide promises and guidance to where we need to go, plus advice on how to do it. I don't know.
I'm not familiar with a lot of the terms you used, but quest, encounter, I don't know.
Oh, that's probably on account of my stupid high wisdom score. Talk about things metaphorically.
I see.
Quest encountered. Arnon, what do you think we've been doing together this whole time?
We are on a quest.
We're on missions from our military commander.
Yes, that's right. Only missions, only military.
There's another word for mission.
Op?
Oh yeah, no, that's a good one.
Operation?
Yeah, that's another one. There's a lot of synonyms.
I'll tell you though, special ops sounds a lot better than special quest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't dispute that. The diplomacy and seeking some sort of alliance would probably help us.
Yeah.
We've been doing really good at that so far, so.
Though we may want to inquire as to whether or not they would have liked to have seen the Princess of Shadowglass destroyed before we let them know that we did that thing.
Hey, would you like it if this lady died? No. Oh, well, that's probably cool.
We will not mention that again.
That's good to know. Thanks.
Glad we asked.
It's a good thing we asked that before we made any hasty decisions.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will not go try to kill her now. Thank you.
The question does arise at this point. If we're going to see the Sealy Court before the Twilight Coven, do we mention the Twilight Coven?
Well, that seems to be everybody's opening line since we've been here. I don't think we should probably mention it.
Probably smart.
But I thought we were going them also specifically to get advice on dealing with the Twilight Coven.
We don't know if the Sealy Court had a
Likes-
favorable outlook on the
Yeah.
Twilight Coven.
Well, isn't that a thing we could ask about or learn?
That is what we probably should do.
Yeah, I
hopefully
just
without
like
giving any indication of what we're here to do.
Yeah, everybody that we've talked to so far, whoever's talking has been like, "We're here to kill the Twilight Coven." Hi. Like before hi.
Right.
So
Right.
maybe not lead with it next time, whoever talks.
Probably smart.
Oh, that's been me.
See, I'm good at conversation theoretically. It's
It's when it actually
application.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when
Yeah.
it happens and he starts talking out of the other end of his, but rude,
Other end of my.
intestinal tract.
Oh.
Or maybe it's just the anger. All your anger bile comes out.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, I seem to have lost track. Are you saying that anger and bile is coming out of his asshole?
No, it's my extra asshole.
And you really don't like Arnon's Nefarious Adventure League?
Absolutely not.
I kind of like the ring of that.
Inconsistencies with your decisions, sir.
I mean, Arnon's Nefarious Adventure League has a nice ring to it.
No, nope.
Check your butthole.
Rings
Skeet out,
and Arnon's Nefarious Adventure League are not what
Moving
we're
on.
discussing right now.
So, so we're deciding where to set course, follow the gem or follow the Sealy. Do we have directions of this? Yeah, we have directions of the Sealy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just keep
we
going,
have
right?
for sure directions to the Sealy.
Yeah, I figure we should, well, you know how I feel about it. I'm all about making friends and influencing Faye.
Influencing Faye, that's adorable.
As you guys are having this conversation, keep taking a look, cursory glances towards the gem, and you notice now it's kind of added another pulse to it. Now it's like woo, 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 woo.
It's another
In that
pulse.
little bit of time?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look around and see what I see around the ship.
Make me a perception check.
Can I assist?
That's a 28.
Not that he needs it.
I was gonna say you can, but I don't know if you really
Fish for a
need
crit.
to.
Fish for a crit.
Looking around, you notice. At first glance, everything that you see looks very, very similar to what you've seen over the past few days. That same multicolor canopy below, kind of an endless sea of treetops all around you. Some like ebbs and flows in the height of the trees, almost like this sea of multicolored leaves below you. You look out and you see far to the left, slightly behind, you can barely see the peaks of that mountain range that you saw when you first landed in the Feywild. These purple mountains. Looking straight forward, all you see is more trees. To your right, I'm sorry, that the mountains were to your left. I think I said right earlier. They were to your left. To your right, you see the forest continuing, that canopy continuing below you, and then you see almost a sharp incline up. Like the ground below the trees seems to be a significant raise in elevation there towards more trees, but then even farther in the distance, past where it turns up slightly, you do see the peaks of a few trees that seem to be standing much taller than the others.
Oh.
It seems to be miles.
I'll point them out.
Miles and miles and miles away, barely visible
I point them out and see those trees out there that are really tall. We were told that the Twilight Coven would be around a really tall tree in that comparatively. Maybe, hey, Captain, can we head that way for a minute and see what happens to the beacon?
All right, that's what you guys want to do. That's what we'll do.
So yeah, get the ship to turn towards the trees. I see.
All right, hard. Everybody, hold on. Hard to starboard. Flips the wheel. You guys start listing, banking towards. Now you're headed in a direction towards those trees. You can tell, like I said, the only reason you can see them is because you rolled a fucking 28. These are miles away. It's probably going to take you a couple days to get there on this trajectory if you're headed that way.
I just want to see what happens to the beacon as we go straight towards these trees.
How much time do you want to wait on this?
Let's go an hour or two. I mean, it changed in a series of a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really just concerned at looking at the beacon and see if it changes more rapidly if we go straight towards those trees I saw.
So as you start on
and once
this,
we know, then we can maybe mark that on our map.
as you start heading in this direction towards those trees, course of, let's say, 2 hours go by. It's now cresting into early afternoon time. I'm sure Butch has eaten at least 3 times at this point.
It's time for 11Cs.
Hey, I'm also learning to prepare food.
That's true. As you have been going in this direction, make me another perception check, please.
Everybody?
You specifically, because you're the one that caught onto this.
That's a 12.
It's all right. It wasn't a high DC.
Okay, good.
You're the crystal, perceiving changes in the crystal. A lot different than perceiving things that are miles and miles away from you. So you notice over the course of the first...
I'm farsighted.
Yeah. The course of the first hour or so, you don't notice too much of a change, but then slowly, the further you go into it, it starts, like, those secondary pulses seem to be lasting a little bit longer. Like, now it's more of a woo, 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 woo. It definitely seems to be pulsing on longer than it's off.
What do you think, guys? Should we check it out more or note the area and head towards where we were headed?
My vote is for noting the area.
Do we have a way to do that? Or, like, do we have a map? Or do we have to do it by...
No, you haven't really
Oh.
had a...
I mean, sure,
Alright,
the captain
you're-
has a cartographer
Yeah.
on his ship.
he
You
used
have a
to.
magic spell for this, right?
A magic spell for this?
Yeah, that'd be totally wizard.
I don't have that kind of magic. Captain,
What?
I don't suppose there's a way you could mark and remember
those trees?
that location over there.
I mean, if nothing else, we got this crystal that'll take us back towards it, apparently. Seems to be glowing a little bit more now than it was back then.
Well, that's a good point. Hopefully that's how it works.
Butch, you're good at survival. Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
Sounds good to me.
We lost the instruction book.
Losing makes you think that you had it in the first place.
We're greatest American heroing it up here.
Oh,
22.
God.
All right, with a 22, But you're pretty confident that even without a map, you can sketch out a few details and over the course of your travels and more or less know roundabouts where to get you back to where you are now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's Butch's background
Exactly.
as a wanderer.
So you might not have a physical map, but you do have a physical Butch.
Okay. Let's get physical, Butch.
With
Yeah, if
a
I die, just save
blaster.
my brain and put it in a robot or something, like a golem.
All right, so what are we doing? Are we continuing this way, or are we headed back towards the Sealy?
I think the vote was for Sealy.
All right.
I agree with Elric.
Yeah, I think we should continue towards the Sealy.
No.
For no other reason than we don't know the power or magic that the Twilight Coven can command. Detection spells being my chief worry.
Captain currently lighting another cigarette, and he's like, all right. To the Sealy
I'm
we
also
go.
really worried. Oh, sorry, Captain.
Spins the wheel. You guys list again back towards the original direction that you were headed. What are you worried about,
really
Butch?
worried. Well, I remember how we were tricked out of 3 words, and he kind of bamped off. Bamf. I'm worried that the Twilight Coven may have word magic, and I don't understand word magic at all.
Well, let me tell you one thing. If you're worried about the Twilight Coven having that kind of magic and you're about to go into a city full of some of the powerful Fae, I think the Sealy, or I feel the Twilight Coven's the worst or the least of your worries right now.
Yeah, but we're not going to the city with intent to kill them.
It doesn't matter if you're going with the intent to kill them or not. These are Fae. They don't care if you're there to kill them. They're there to make a deal. They're there to be tricky. Like those little gnome guys told you I guess it was a couple hours ago. It wasn't yesterday. As those little gnome guys told you a couple hours ago. At least with the Unseelie, you know what you're going to get. The Sealy, they're just as tricky, but they believe that they're all righteous, which makes them even more dangerous.
Sweet.
At least with the Unseelie, there's no trickery about who you're dealing with. You know who you're dealing with.
Sweet.
So, best not to engage in deals without having a clear idea of what's at stake. I'm certain if we keep our wits about us, we should be fine.
Yeah, but just don't agree to anything.
Everybody, now that you guys have adjusted course and everything, everybody make me a perception check real quick.
I'm getting my eyesight's getting worse and worse.
Those natural ones.
Natural one.
For those listening to the podcast and those watching on TikTok, I'll run through these dice roll for you real quick. Butch with a 16, Arnon with a natural 1 for a 10, Elric with an 11, and Orpheus with an 8. Wow.
Stellar job. Is anybody playing Gwen tonight for her?
You usually do. Do you want to?
Yeah. I think I need to give me access.
You don't have access to her? Okay.
No. Not since the update. I just have me.
All right, hold on one second. Let me give you ownership. What number are you?
5.
5. All right, you now have ownership of Gwen.
Okay. Whoops.
Yes, illiterate DM can't read compass. Thanks, Dad.
No.
Oh, great. Gwen got a 13.
Wow, your perceptive one got a 13. That's fantastic.
Our most perceptive one got portaled away, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I misread.
your most perceptive one is somewhere that you have no idea. All right.
We literally can't see the forest for the trees.
She went back to the future.
None of you really notice anything except for Butch. Butch, very, very slightly, you hear on the winds this strange, like, warbling noise. Very, very, very faintly. At first, you think it's just your ears playing tricks on you.
bird?
You can't. Yeah, it's almost like a. But very, very, very quiet, like almost on the edge of your hearing.
Turkey. Can I listen more closely?
Sure, you can try and listen harder.
Listen harder.
I mean, you know,
You point your ear in the general direction.
yes, I'm going to listen harder. So hard.
You're listening so much harder, but you still just once or twice you hear this weird warbly noise. You're not sure if it's organic or something natural, or if it has something to do with the weird ambiance of the Fey realm and where you're at.
I know. I'll roll nature.
Sure, roll a nature check. You have
I'm so good with those.
no fucking clue.
All right, so I know it's definitely not a bird.
Well, no, you don't know. It could be a bird. I don't know. I've never heard a bird like this before. You've never heard a bird like this before. It could,
I'm
but you're
gonna
also
try and,
you're also in the Feywild. There's lots of weird shit here.
All right, let me see if I can't mimic it. So, all right, guys, this is what I heard.
Performance check.
Absolutely. Hey, Gwen, can I get some inspiration? No, what's the term? Guidance? Please? Please?
Scott, that's you.
I'm sorry, what? Guidance.
Get
Guidance.
some
Yes.
guidance on this roll.
We are professionals, I promise you.
There you go. Be guided. Like Gwen doesn't space out thinking about mushrooms.
21
And shit.
to imitate this sound.
You imitate it as best as your turtle vocal cords can. I heard this weird noise. It went.
21's pretty good.
It is, but you're still limited. You're still limited by the range of
know.
your vocal cords.
We should definitely go investigate because that goes really.
You are not the dude from Police Academy. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know.
Motor Mouth Jones.
Hilariously, my raven doesn't mimic the sound that he actually heard. My raven, since it has mimicry, tries to mimic the sound that Butch made with his mouth.
But he's horribly twisted, so it just sounds like he's dying.
Yes.
Oh, no. It's like a copy of a copy.
Why am I alive?
But unfortunately, it is not a sound that any of you are familiar with.
Kill me. All right. Having embarrassed himself incredibly, Butch is going to go downstairs, hang out with Murray, and have some more cooking lessons.
Sounds good. Is there anything else any of you are trying to accomplish during this day of travel?
There is something that Elric is going to start trying once again. It's going to attempt to cast the sending spell First to our general Calliope. Yeah, let's get that going. Okay, 25 words. Words for the sending are going to be reporting from Feywild, day 5. Still en route to Twilight Coven. Seeking alliance or treaty with Sealy Court. Found crew with ship has interplanar travel.
Roll me a d20.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, 16. No idea if that's good.
Yeah, I have no
Mystery
idea.
D20.
My favorite.
Couple seconds go by. No response.
No response. Okay, I'm going to attempt to cast the same message.
Does she have like voicemail?
Does she have voicemail? Is that what you
Can you,
literally
like,
just asked?
you just like leave a message and you have to catch her while she's there.
This is. I'm assuming the way it works is that basically trying to get a signal to connect.
Bondurant residence.
So are you sending? Are you trying to send to her again?
Yes.
Same,
yes, I
same
am.
message, same person.
Same message, same person. Trying to get through.
Roll me another d20.
$18.
Couple seconds pass. No response.
I'm going to, with this message in mind and the still looming realization that this crew has been away from our home world for more than 100 years. I'm gonna try casting that a few more times. I'm gonna go through my last 3rd level spell slot and all 3 of my 4th level spell slots.
So 4 more times.
4 more times.
All right. Individually, roll me d20 4 times.
Okay.
No response on that one.
That's a 7.
No response on that one either.
That's a 2. Come on.
No response.
Okay, last one.
And again, you extinguish all of your spell slots trying to send this this message, and no response.
Keeping my 5th level and 6th level slots for in case we do encounter something that can't be talked down. I'm going to spend the rest of the day recording, documenting our travel.
Recording your fire new EP.
Yes, my fire new EP, guys. Been working on the song. It's been a while now, but I think it's almost ready.
Nice. I think I'm working on a roux.
All right. So if there is
that would make sense for Drift.
if there is nothing else, we'll say that the rest of the day comes and goes more or less uneventfully. As uneventful as a day, including Bowler wearing fucking gnomes riding hummingbirds can be. You all eventually, one by one, take your rests. The next day, the next morning comes to you, or at least your circadian rhythm tells you it's the next morning. And for this next day of travel, I would like somebody to roll me a D20 or a D100.
Ooh, can I do it since I missed last
Yeah,
week?
absolutely.
Let's hope it's not scary. Or maybe it should be scary.
71.
What does it do?
The return of Top Hum.
Last time, what we
Oh,
Top
no, he's
Hum
laughing.
was what happened when I rolled a 75.
Yeah. All right. So as you all rise
Volleyball.
as you all rise from your slumber, what are you doing?
I'm going to swap out a couple spells. That's what I'm going to do.
Sounds good.
I've returned to my brooding post at the front of the ship on the deck.
Fantastic.
I'm going to, in my writing, wax a little philosophical in how, as strange as our missions have gotten, it's strangely numbing to not even really be fazed at the absolute madness of Technicolor gnomes on Technicolor hummingbirds casually flying at our flying ship that could travel through the plains pretty much at a moment's notice.
Arnon, what are you doing?
Well, typically I stare off into the distance. I'm gonna try to add like a little prayer to it this time. I'm try to reach my patron. Just like, are we on the right path? Do we need help getting out of here, or have we already screwed that up? That's what I'm focusing on.
Okay, so you're legitimately trying to get answers.
I mean, I don't know how this stuff works. I basically learned by like watching Butch out of the side of my eye.
Fair enough. So, first and foremost, I'm going to need you to roll a religion check for me.
Roll a religion check. How does religion work?
How does
Gods give me a sign.
How does one?
I really need to talk to you, Lord.
That's a 6. Arnon knows all about it.
Yeah, you've seen Butch do this. It should be pretty easy. You just gotta talk under your breath and like project. You know,
It's one of those scenarios that the lower I roll, the more confident I am about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You feel super
The
good
inverse
about this.
property.
You think this has gotta work. I mean, she comes to me in my dreams. Why can't I reach out to her? I mean, this is a two-way. This isn't a one-way street. This is a give and take. She's got to answer
All I had
me.
to do was go to a building and light a candle. I could probably do it here.
Absolutely. Roll me a D100.
D100, okay.
Come on.
59.
So you are focusing in on this, and you're like, come on, you're like hardcore. Like people who walk by you are going to see like the veins in your forehead kind of bulging, and you're like, is he constipated or is he praying? You're not quite sure. It's just
I'm concentrating, baby.
You're trying so hard, but there's nothing.
It's like when
there.
I try to get my one eyebrow to raise instead of the other ones. Yeah.
It's like playing the Force Unleashed all over again.
Trying real hard, but there's nothing coming from
That's
it.
how you pray, right?
Hey, we've got to pray just to make it today.
Yeah. While
I might be the only one old enough to know that reference.
While you and so you're up there praying.
Making your way in the Feywild today takes everything you got.
Jesus Christ. Brooding Orpheus and brooding praying Arnon. I need both of you to roll perception checks since you two are on deck.
Aye, aye.
Jesus.
18.
11.
Orpheus, you've got the brood in your eyes.
It's all that emo hair. It
Yeah.
makes it hard to tell what's going on in my periphery.
But Arnon, you see as you're in the middle of your prayer and you have your eyes closed, you open them a couple times and you see just in time to see a reflection of sunlight or twilight, I guess, because it's not really sun out in the distance. Quite a bit of ways, you see a couple shining lights that seem to be almost like, if you like those when you hold a mirror up and reflect the sunlight off of the mirror, like those quick little jaunts of reflection towards you coming from, we'll say, the port bow slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Looks significantly far away, but just little, every once in a while you catch reflection of light.
I think there's some stranded people out there trying to get our attention.
You say,
Orpheus, do you see that? Flashing light out there?
Flashing. What's it now? I don't see anything, Arnon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt the brooding. I know how much that sucks. Captain? Hey, windy douchebag.
yeah, what you need?
You see something flashing out there?
Hold on, let me take a look and see what I can find. Where's my perception check? Oh, shit.
I love how he just knows how I'm talking to him. He's accepted it.
No one is as windy.
That is a natural 20 for a 30. As he pulls
Nice.
up the rifle, he starts looking around. He's like, "Oh shit, yeah, there's something metallic out there reflecting some of the sunlight. It looks like there's quite a few of them out there." And you look out and you see like ting, 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 ting. Like quite a few of these little reflections almost look like twinkling starlights in a
Are
constellation.
they all together or are they separated?
They're in the same general area, but there's different spots.
Gotcha.
There's y'all are shit. This fucking place, man. Y'all aren't even gonna believe me if I tell you what I see. So here, take a look for yourself. And he grabs a spyglass out of his coat pocket and like drops it down to you.
Okay. I'll take a look.
Yeah, so you take a look, you pop it out. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage since you have the spyglass.
All right.
Wow.
Are you
18.
Wow.
You just rolled 3 6s in a row.
Yes. No, one of them was a 9. That was a 6 and a 9.
Oh, sorry.
So
Nice.
9 for nice.
So yeah, nice. All right. Well, we're gonna say since he told you where to look and he gave you the spyglass, you look out and you see. You kind of do one of those where you like have it up to your eye and then you like take it down for a second and kind of rub your eyes for a second and you put it back up. And what you see is flying through the air this school of goldfish. And the lights reflecting off of their golden scales.
Okay. Well, I'll tell the guys down below that there's something they might want to check out. But I don't think we need to go check out. Hey, look at this.
You saying that? Who are you saying that to?
Gwen and Butch and Elric. Orpheus is busy brooding.
Also going to go take a look.
So yeah, you take.
Yeah, I can be on deck.
All right, let's. For the sake of funsies, both of you roll perception checks at advantage. As he's passing around the spyglass to each one of you.
Dirty 20 for Butch.
Fantastic.
15.
So
Brought our big rolls.
Elric, you see this. Elric first, as Arden hands you the spyglass, you take a look and it's like is the light playing tricks on your eye? Those can't be fish. There's no way those are fucking fish in the sky, and you just see these twinkling lights here and there. Whoa.
Wow.
Sorry, that was everybody. I had to do a little puzzle on the TikTok live, otherwise it was going to end for us. So we're good on there.
Thank you,
Anyway.
TikTok.
Gwen rolled even worse than I did.
Yeah, and
I brought my big dice tonight.
both of you like not quite sure. Like it kind of looks like the twilight's playing tricks on your eyes. Butch, however. You take a look through this, and not only do you see a school of goldfish flying through the air, large goldfish, you take a closer look and you see those fish are reflecting because that's actual gold. They aren't just goldfish, they are gold fish. Their scales are, you can see kind of closer in detail. Their scales are gold pieces.
Okay. Is anyone on board particularly avarice, suffering, greedy? I don't recall anyone as particularly greedy.
There's a little bit of desire for money, if you describe that, for one particular reason, and that's because
Spells.
spell scrolls. Spell scrolls cost money.
Ah. I think those fish are made from actual gold.
What?
It's what it looks like, Arnon.
Wow.
But gold is so heavy. How could something laden with gold fly?
Magic.
Is that truly a question that we're asking of the Feywild?
Fair point. I'll
So
go back to
far,
Rudy.
nothing in this place makes sense.
I mean, I'm cool with just passing them by and saying, that was cool.
I am in the mood, the rare mood, to fish.
Oh, you want to go fishing?
I mean, there's some fish out there that seem like they're made out of pure gold. I think that might be a great fucking idea. We can always use more gold.
Unless they're self-aware and vengeful.
We're on a ship full of pirates.
That is a valid point.
No.
That is a valid point, my friend. However, as your broody McBroody face up there just stated, and it's a very pretty broody face, by the way. This is a ship full of pirates. We have taken a lot worse. I fucking, that illiteracy just hit me. I just completely lost my train of thought.
You can't read the script.
I can't read the
You can't read the
Curse.
script.
We have taken much worse. God damn it! I hate all of you.
Doesn't the
Keep
the-
us here sit in the background.
the chef
We're
said we need meat?
privateers. Privateers. Drift.
Yeah.
Privateers.
We are privateers. We have taken much worse chances for much fewer gold than if there is potentially a fleet or a school full of pure gold fish.
I think the chef said we needed meat too.
Yes, we are running low on any kind of meat, so that's.
Where'd you come from?
I popped
And
up when
butter.
somebody yelled that there was something that needed to be that we should all look at, so I came up here to see. I don't just live down there. I am free to move about the cabin.
I don't suppose we have a net to catch them with.
Of course, we have a net. We have
Could
quite
probably
a few
spear
nets.
him with the ballista too.
Possibly. I mean, they don't look that big. The ballista might take out any of the meat that we want. We might want to consider the net, like you said.
Let's hope that's all we need.
Alric, do you
All
have like a cast net spell?
Cast net.
Do you have a
I
retrieve
see
actual goldfish spell?
that. You know that's not a thing.
All right, so
I think that we saw a scroll at a Mistress was retrieve actual goldfish.
are we
You
headed?
know what?
Are we headed
Okay.
towards these fish or not?
It,
Fuck it.
Captain, let's go
All
catch
right,
us some
let's go.
fish.
Oh boy.
Boat starts listing
I
as you
do
guys
have the spell web.
head towards the school of
Cast
fish.
web.
Takes about half hour, 45 minutes before you guys are starting to approach this school. The school kind of turns so that way they're going in line with you, but the Whispering Grace is faster, so it is slowly catching up on this school. At this point, you are probably about 100, 150 feet behind, but you are slowly inching up. What are you all doing?
Did he tell us where the nets were?
Yeah. Miri ran down under deck to one of the storage rooms and came back up with a handful of nets with long ropes on them. Typical fishing nets. None of you have ever used a fishing net in the sky before. Some of you have never used a fishing net before.
I've never used a fishing
So
net.
is this like an improvised weapon situation?
It's going to be a specific check, yes.
I will take one. I will take my rope and tie it to the end of an arrow, and see if I can spear one.
Fantastic. So you guys are pulling up, and you do notice that these fish, now that you're up close to them, they're large fish, but they're not like massive. Like each one of these fish is maybe the size of like maybe a small to medium-sized dog. You could imagine that each one of these fish is maybe like 50 pounds. So they're decent size. For fish, they're fucking huge. But for other things you've seen in here, they're not.
Are they small enough that it would be unrealistic to use the ballista on them?
Yes. The ballista would destroy these things.
Like, are they like?
Just want to use the ballista.
You know,
Are they
my
50-pound size in like fish weight, not gold weight?
Correct. In fish weight.
Okay.
So they're about the size. You know my brown dog Mika. They're about that size.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
for those who don't know, that
That'd be
she's
huge for a goldfish.
She's a pocket pinch. She's like this big. So
I'm going to attempt something. You tell me, DM, if it's a valid attempt. I want to tie a rope to one of my arrows for my crossbow to the railing of the ship on the side facing the fish, and then attempt to shoot one and then reel it in with my tied down rope.
yeah, that sounds very similar to what Arnon was planning on doing. You can actually, absolutely go bow fishing.
All right, let's give it a shot.
So you're coming up slightly to port on these fish. They're starting to get into range now. So if you would like to go ahead and take a shot, or if yes you can, go ahead and make a crossbow attack.
Before we do, should we have Gwen try to talk to them in their head and see if they're sentient? I mean,
Do we really?
far be it for
want
me to, shoot first and ask questions later, but
I mean, we don't have
Do
to
you,
collect.
do you
souls
talk
anymore.
to your food?
well, you're really ready to eat some fish, aren't you, Elric?
I very much am.
Burn it all down. Burn it all down.
What do you
Maybe
what do you
maybe
think,
I
Glenn?
burned down the Feywild.
Elric's got like a trash can man thing going on right now.
Okay,
My
Orpheus,
life for you.
Will you explain to me what your plan is?
I have a rope tied to the arrow on my crossbow
Okay.
to the rail of the ship. I'm going to try to shoot the fish and then reel it in.
Samesies, but
All right.
with my bow.
Both.
What's going to make the net go around the fish?
I'm not using a net. I'm using an arrow.
Oh, you're shooting.
We're not part of the net team.
They're bow fishing.
All right.
Gotcha.
How many fish?
Dozens.
Like how large is a school? Dozens.
Dozens of fish.
Okay. I also have an idea. Tell me if this is not very feasible or if it gets too crazy. So what I would like to do is attempt to essentially cast web mid-air in an attempt to, with the strands of web being like basically at my hand, use that cube, like that 20-foot cube of web, and see how many fish I can catch with that.
Um. If the webs aren't anchored between two solid masses or layered across a floor, wall, or ceiling, the conjured web collapses in on itself and the spell ends at the start of your turn. Webs layered over the flat surface have a depth of 5 feet. I will say that if you are... So you could be able to cast it, and for the sake of how you want to do this... I am going to give you the ability to cast it more or less using the rail of the ship as the solid surface. So instead of casting from your fingers Spider-Man-like, you can cast it off of the edge of the ship, and it's going to go out and collapse down on itself. So more or less you're like throwing a blanket over these fish, and it's going to collapse down and catch them in the web.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's like using a side to be like one of the anchors.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically you have one side anchored, and then it's just going to collapse down and attach to the underside.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
All right, Orpheus, roll your crossbow attack.
How
And
far
yeah.
away are the fish?
27.
Yeah, I mean, it's a goldfish. You don't even have to roll damage. Yeah, you instantly thunk into the tail end of one of them as it starts collapsing or starts falling out of the sky. You do notice that the glow kind of diminishes from the fish, but it is now hanging from the rope. Arnon, go ahead and roll yours as well. Butch, at this point, you're probably close to, you've approached, you're probably closer to like 20, 30 feet.
All right, I have attached a rope to my arm, and then hitched it to one of my javelins.
You're gonna,
24.
Javelin
you're
fish.
spear fishing?
Javelin fish, yes.
Yeah, spear. Okay, so yeah, Arnon, you are able to strike one as well. When the arrow goes through, you do also notice that the glow kind of fades, and the fish is now dangling below from your rope. Butch, go ahead.
And reel it up, and I'm going to avoid eye contact.
Okay. Butch with an 11.
Don't look it in
With
the
an
eye. Don't look it in
11,
the eye.
you're shooting at fish. It's not
Don't
that
wanna feel
hard.
things.
Are you going
It
to
does-
eat my body now?
Yes.
With
Ooh.
It's not even a question.
With an 11, you're aiming at one. You graze past the top of the one, but you do impact one behind it. So with that, and again, it kind of fades as it goes. Elric, you wait until the right time. You cast that net out. What was the size of web?
It's a 20 foot by 20 foot by 20 foot cube.
Oh shit. 20 by 20 by 20. You're able to catch let's say
So you can actually attach it to the side of the ship if you wanted.
Yep.
unfortunately you get the tail end of them and you catch about 8 fish in that. They are wriggling
Whoa.
in the net, but those still have the glow to it. As the three of you pull these fish in, reel these dead fish in, you do notice in your hands you have regular goldfish. The gold
Ooh, delicious.
the gold pieces have faded into regular scales. Elric, as you pull in the net with these 8 fish that are still flopping around, you do notice that their scales are intact and still pieces of gold.
I look at their catch. I look at mine. I look at their catch. I look at mine.
At this point,
And I'm going to do something pretty macabre, and I'm going to attempt to scale a fish before it dies.
as you do that, a couple more crewmen come up with nets and cast out the nets, and you see the perfect, like, where it goes wide in midair, drops down, and right as it hits the top, they start yanking the rope to close it over, and we are going to say the first one catches 16, and the second one catches another 15 fish. And now you see there's still quite a few fish left in this school. But as you go to scale the fish while it's still alive, you hit it with your knife and you start popping the scales off. And as they pop off in mid-air, they dull and turn into regular scales.
Huh.
Well, I think we have dinner. And not
Yes.
much else.
Oh, this is lovely.
So
This
the
is
scales. Sorry to interrupt. As the scales pop off, they turn from that gold to like regular like fish scales.
yeah, regular fish scales. Miri's like, oh, this is lovely. If nothing else, at least we have plenty of meat now.
You sure these weren't catfish?
God damn it. This should feed us for
wonder-
quite a while. I can salt some of these and preserve them for a while. I'll throw quite a bit of them in that stew that I was making. We'll have a nice fish stew for dinner.
We should separate out some of the fat so we can make like a fish lard.
Oh, that's a lovely idea.
Absolutely.
Please,
At
now,
the
at
thought
least
of
have
fish
meat.
lard, Orpheus goes back to his brooding post.
please, now, if you wouldn't mind, anyone, you just grab these, take them downstairs. I have a few barrels. Probably not a lot, enough space for these, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Just bring them down to the galley, and I will start prepping them immediately.
Going to help take our catch down to the galley.
Just
I'm just going to toss
missed
the
my
one that I
mouth.
caught into his pile.
Fantastic. All right. While you guys do that, we're going to go ahead and take our break because it is almost 10 o'clock. Before we take our break, one quick just heads up to everyone. We are in the midst of what's supposed to be a really nasty storm. So at any moment, we could potentially lose power. So if we do, I apologize and we'll pick up next week. But hopefully that doesn't happen because I would like to continue this tonight.
And
So-
if you're watching on TikTok, we're on the red and purple app with our full display,
Exactly.
roles and map and everything.
Character sheets.
Don't forget to
everything.
subscribe
Character sheets.
to end illiteracy. Maybe
End literacy.
End literacy.
And literacy
all
now!
literacy.
So
Ew,
You
no
think
one
it was
will
a Freudian
read ever
slip, but
again.
yes.
that's how it was
give
scripted.
us like 5-10 minutes and we will be right back. Oh shit, how do I do this?
Nobody knows.
All right.
Can you end the TikTok stream and start it
we're-
again?
I can't.
Yeah, we're
Hold
still on our way.
And we are back. Thank you all for sticking with us through that quick little break. But we are back now on all of our platforms. So,
All of them.
all of them.
And we say the in front of everyone.
The Facebooks, the
The
TikToks.
TikToks.
So, you have successfully caught a bunch of fish.
We got catfished by some goldfish.
You got catfished by some goldfish. As you
The
guys,
Feywild would do that.
yeah, you guys start hauling this catch. I mean, regardless whether or not they're gold or not, you still got quite a bit of meat, which Miri was just saying that you guys needed some. Unless you wanted weird root vegetable stew for the rest of your time in the Feywild. No, you
I'll
fish.
definitely settle for the meat.
Now you fish.
Nothing wrong with vegetarianism.
So you're
I'm
taking.
a vegan.
Oh God.
Don't.
You know what?
Do not.
You know what the hardest thing about being a vegan is?
Not telling
not
you.
talking
Exactly.
about
Not telling everyone. Anyway, we love you, vegans. We're not. We make fun of you because we love you.
Yes.
Anyway.
Just like I said, that Perry and Nick can't read today.
Exactly.
We make fun of you because we love you, even if it's a sensitive topic to you.
So, as you guys are taking these, God damn it, as you guys are taking these,
Get it in there.
I can't read. I can read.
I can read.
God damn it, I've lost all sense of control. Anyway, as you guys are carrying this load of fresh, very fresh, most still alive fish down to the mess. Are you doing anything else? Are you guys continuing to fish, or are you happy with your catch?
I'm good. I'm gonna go back to praying.
I'm going to go learn how to, fillet, gut, prepare fish.
So
I'm
you
gonna
get
pray
out.
I
the
lost
shit
my
out
appetite
of
at
this
the sound
prayer.
of fish lard.
You go down with Miri into the galley, carrying a couple of these nets full of fish, because you are a big burly turtle after all.
I am. I'm looking forward to learning how to make butter out of this. Well, we haven't had butter in how long?
It's not.
You know how you can't make
that's not how
roux without
fish
oil.
work.
I'm gonna ask
Oil.
Butch if he likes fish sticks.
No.
So you head down, and Miri quickly runs to the back and grabs a couple barrels and empty barrels and throws them down. And she's like, "These were what we were carrying other meats in, but unfortunately we have run through those. So shove as many of those as you can in these barrels, and we'll deal with it that way." Start emptying these nets into these barrels, quickly filling these 3 barrels that are sitting there. The fish are still alive. Whoa, what the fuck was that? Thaumaturgy.
Oh, that's a spell cast.
What exactly are you thaumaturgying there, Butch?
Oh, I was looking to see if I could use my thaumaturgy to get rid of any germs or anything that were in the barrels.
And
I
don't...
didn't mean to cast it.
Yeah. Not really.
Nope.
But these fish are still alive that you are
I
placing in
bet
these
Elric
barrels.
has the disinfect spell.
It does. What? I'm trying to remember Miri. Miri probably has something.
Mary's a fighter.
And she probably has some really strong alcohol.
Elric cast Lysol.
Absolutely not.
If you wouldn't mind, these fish need to be. We need to do something with them before they fly.
Sacred
away.
flame.
You're sacred flaming the fish.
I'm just making an offer.
We might not want to cook them all right this minute. Otherwise, the
All right.
meat will get a little nasty.
Let's seal the barrel.
So, okay. So we're gonna seal these barrels with these fish in here. That's fine. Give me a handful of them, if you wouldn't mind bringing a handful of them over to the counter, and we will start prepping. God damn
These are
it.
probably pretty slippery.
Preparing them for the stew.
All right, I'll make a deck save.
Butch stands by the barrels and starts singing, "Kissed by a rose on thorn."
All right, so is this a dex check to bring them over or a saving throw?
No, you can just carry the fish over.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Carry the fish over. You do have a couple, now 3 dead fish, including the one that Elric tried to fillet alive. Needless to say, it did not last very much longer after he started descaling the fish. She grabs these fish, lays them out, and like I said, these are large, probably between 30 and 50 pounds of meat on each one. She takes this big-ass meat cleaver and just starts hacking into these things. And the first one you notice, as soon as she hacks the head off, you notice, as opposed to that white fleshy that you usually see cod and goldfish, this is a very deep red meat inside. She hacks the tail off and starts scraping the scales off, slowly starts cutting into it, and this is quite interesting. This is unlike any fish I've ever dealt with before.
Beefy.
Yeah. She starts like peeling and kind of cuts underneath it, reaches her little halfling fingers in and starts like tearing the skin off of it. And she's like, this is more of a consistency of almost like a beef or maybe like a tuna.
Ooh, steakfish.
Either way, this is going to be much nicer than in just a flaky white fish for a fish stew. And starts ripping this, starts like chopping into it, and you actually see these kind of meaty bones inside of this fish. And yeah, the consistency and the coloration are somewhere between almost like a tuna steak and like a beef steak, like some sort of weird amalgamation of the two. Like, oh, this will be lovely, and starts like just fucking going to town on these fish. Starts chucking chunks of it into the stew that she had been prepping earlier.
Does it smell like beef or does it smell like water?
Are you down there?
I got a real sensitive nose for fish.
Well, I'm about to ask a very similar question. Since these fish are not swimming in salt water, I don't know. What makes a fishy smell fishy?
Make a perception check for me.
Never mind. I got a nat 1 on that.
Yeah,
You've gone smell blind.
You got, yeah.
you
Might have
need
gotten
to get
some
some
dust.
coffee grounds.
Yeah, might have gotten some dust in your nose or something. You're trying really hard not to sneeze right now.
Okay, well, I have natural claws, so I'm going to offer my claws for deboning or taking
Sure.
the scales off or whatever.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check then.
All right. So much better. 2 on the dice, so a 4. Yep.
We are competent today.
That is
for
the
sure.
wonder of a D20.
So
Those dice are really telling a story right now.
Erotic.
She's like, if you wouldn't mind, Butch, why don't you take a crack at this one? You grab this fish in one hand, and you're kind of looking and watching what she's doing. You're like, okay, so if I just like grab it right here and you jam your fingers like into almost like the throat area of the fish and
Well,
start...
I know how to live off the land.
Yeah, but you're trying to like you've torn
this
fish
land.
before. You've done the whole like cut them down, grab the jaw, and rip the whole spine out before,
Yeah.
and that's what you're attempting to do here. However, this fish is not a regular fish.
Oh.
So you grab it and you're attempting to do the whole rip the spine out in one quick motion. But what you do is the meat is a lot denser in this fish, and what you end up doing is actually kind of taking chunks of it out. You're like, oh wait,
Yes.
let me no, there's another chunk.
Stupid fairy fish.
It's not a pretty situation that's going on, and you end up with these just mutilated chunks of fish beef meat with scales and skin and bones still stuck inside of it, and you just have this pile after a while, and you're like,
Yeah.
Mary's like, oh, that's
Learning-
Describing this
learning
out of
situation.
context would
That-
sound insane.
that was a
I want a fish beef meat shirt now.
Fish beef.
Fish beef meat.
That was a,
FBM.
that was a good attempt, Butch. Good try. Why don't you
Nothing
go?
better than an FBM.
Why don't you let me take care of this, and you go stir the soup, stir the broth.
I'm on it. Stir, stir, stir.
Cuts up some more. Starts chucking these chunks of meat into the stew. Starts taking.
You're her new brick, by the way. You are now.
You are now brick.
Yep.
Starts,
Brick.
starts taking the bones and the skin and everything and throwing that in a separate pot to the side. So she's like, okay, and then takes out a pan and she's like, I'm very interested in what this flavor would be, and takes one of the chunks that you kind of tore off and just kind of like delicately trims out the bone and stuff in this. So she's got like almost like this ball of meat now that she kind of tries to flatten out as much as possible and kind of make it resemble something more steak-like. Heats up this pan and throws it in, cooks it up for a couple minutes, and then cuts into it. And she takes a bite and she's like, "It's actually quite lovely. Here, would you like?" And hands the rest of this piece of cooked steak-ish to you, Butch. If you wouldn't mind, let me know what you think of this. It's got a very interesting flavor.
Yeah, I'll try Patty.
So yeah, you stick it in your mouth, and it's
Phrasing.
yeah. God damn it! It's delicious. It's succulent beef flavor, but
Stick them in your mouth.
it's got the consistency of beef, but it's got almost like a little bit of the undertones of like the tuna steak flavor to it.
Fabulous.
Not
Oh man.
not fishy at all. More of that, like, just like I said, tuna steak mixed with a little bit of beef style flavor. It's interesting. It's
She beef meat patties. Stick them in your mouth.
it's not anything you've
suck 'em in,
tasted
suck 'em
before.
in, suck 'em.
It's a little offsetting at first, but then it's very, very tasty.
We're gonna eat well tonight.
I think we're going to eat well for quite a while. We had enough fish in there to feed this crew for at least a few days.
We can make fish patties and fish steaks.
I'm sorry, did you say
Fish
fish sticks?
Steaks.
Oh, fish sticks, of course.
Why would we make this in a stick shape? That doesn't make any sense.
I
I don't think we have anything to bread them.
Bubba new brick.
Do we have anything to bread them?
We can whip up a breading. We have ingredients.
Out of what? Mushrooms?
Have you ever had mushroom breading?
No.
You have clearly not spent enough time in the Feywild, then.
Yes. Oh no. Okay. Cool.
What?
Let's do this.
Pure insanity.
This has become the Gordon Ramsay episode of Those Natural Ones.
Adventures in culinary experimentation.
So, as this is going
Somebody
on,
needs to start screaming and cursing.
It's fucking raw.
what are you?
Fuck does that with fishy beef meat?
What are you?
Fuck are you thinking?
An
More
idiot
vinegar.
sandwich. Anyway,
Like,
what are the rest of you doing while this is going on?
Brooding.
okay,
Are you still
I gotta,
you're still
I
brooding?
gotta interrupt this staring off into the middle distance thing that Orpheus is doing. I'm gonna walk over to Orpheus and let's say, keeping watch.
Keeping watch
More or
or
less.
watchly keeping? Sorry.
Which one of the crew? Which one of the crew said that?
Whoever it was, they're off the boat. Yeet.
Find anything interesting out there?
Just more and more Feywild. Seems to never end. Much like our time here. You know, with every passing day, I feel more and more in line with your wish to burn it all down.
And I'm sure for very good reason.
Anyway, what's up with you, Elric? Were you able to reach the general?
Not yet. I don't know if sending from this plane is especially difficult, or if maybe my head's not in it.
You know, with all this talk about the passing of time in the Feywild and Captain Sid and his crew clearly not realizing how long they've been away, I'm worried by the time we come back, it'll be too late.
It could potentially be too late if only a day passed. It's... How do I put this? The only reason why I haven't committed to burning down this entire plane and saying we should leave immediately is because I have hope in this strange place that perhaps someone, maybe one of the higher ups in the Sealy Court, can somehow manage to make it so that our days are only days and not potentially centuries away.
A nice sentiment, but I don't think we can trust any of these bastards.
It's with that the other reason why I'm not burning this place down immediately is because whether we leave in 6 hours or in 6 days, we can barely predict, as is, how much our first trip to a different plane has changed our trajectory, let alone a second. Whenever we do leave here, finally, we're going to have to deal with what's on the other side. What's at home, whatever it is. Fretting over it is not going to add any more time or take any more away.
Believe me, there's no fretting. I'm just itching to hit something.
Me too. I'm sure we'll have plenty of chances to do that. In the meantime, perhaps talking to your teammates can help pass the time. You are Butch's favorite human, after all.
Butch hates humans.
And yet he hasn't deemed it necessary to kill you.
A ravaging compliment, I'm sure. Thanks, Elric. Speaking of which, I've always wondered who would win an arm wrestling match. I've
An
heard
arm
tales of a
wrestling
monk
match?
who used to be undefeated in arm wrestling. I've always thought about the trade myself. Let's go see what Butch is up to.
Right.
So as you guys are going down to the galley, Butch is coming up from the galley, holding a plate with some fried cooked fish patties. First thing he says is, "Oh, Orpheus, try one."
Who cooked it, Butch?
Mary.
Why, thank you. And Orpheus
Mhm.
takes one.
Eric, do you eat? Of course you do. Here.
I'm a step away from eating keto. And just scarfing down as, like, however much meat is on this plate, Elric is, like, devouring this.
Is Elric counting carbs?
Elric isn't so much counting carbs as he is predominantly like a meat eater. He'll eat vegetables and, you know, carbs whenever they're around. Like the what was that Sunday that we got in Sigil?
Oh, your meat Sundays?
Yeah,
Sunday.
didn't that have mashed potatoes in
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Orpheus,
that-
the thing is, you have to understand, elves always count carbs. They can't not count carbs. That's why they're so lithe.
Gotcha.
Here, I'm going to take some to Orpheus. I'm sorry, to Arnon and Gwen.
So,
Okay.
Butch, we're walking with you, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
So, Butch, Elric seems pretty insistent. He's kind of, boasting about how strong you are. He said, "There's no way that I could ever beat you in an arm wrestling match." And I said, "Elric, that's likely true. I mean, turtles are very strong, but I'd like to give it a shot."
I mean, if you want to, you might not. It just depends.
These are, in fact, claims that I've made on your behalf.
Okay.
Find a table.
Well, let me bring this food to the others first. Do-do-do-do.
Easy enough.
I am bringing hope in the form of delicious food.
Yeah, easy enough to find Arnon and Gwen and take them their food.
All right.
I still look constipated on the
Still trying to force it.
Still
Arnon, what are you doing?
nothing coming to you.
You can't tell?
Oh, hold on. Let me make an insight check. All right, DM. My total is 11. Can I tell?
He looks like he's having some digestive issues.
Like something needs
like
to be softened,
something-
and I don't know
yeah.
what.
You've seen that face before, and usually there's specific berries or fruits that need to be involved. And
Well,
Is
you
it the
look
sword
like-
again? Is it in
You
your
look-
head?
You look like you've had a bad fish. This is a good fish, though. Try it. Oh, Miri cooked it.
All right. All right. I'll give her a try. Thank you.
Excellent.
Just gonna finish what I was doing first.
I'm going to pat him twice on the shoulder in a friendly way that elves appreciate.
Butch, didn't we
Okay.
just talk about touching people?
We talked about touching you. And you are not an elf. Elves live by special rules. Speaking of, where's Gwen?
Is that an elf joke?
Everything's an elf joke if you think about it.
Oh no.
All right, and then we find a table for arm wrestling. It's just a contest of athletics.
all right, so you guys find
or will.
you guys find your table and lock arms. And Elric, are you overseeing this arm wrestling competition?
Okay, so I want a good clean match. No, I know this is going to sound weird from me, but no magical funny business trying to get one over on the other.
Aw, I cast thaumaturgy and make my eyes glow in a friendly manner, but fierce.
That's in a friendly manner.
Grrr.
All right, arms up.
Arms
Now
up.
you going? Now you
And as you
grab each other's hands.
as you
I don't know.
start pressing against each other, athletics checks, both of you.
Phrasing.
Contested athletics checks, please.
Oh. Is that what I think it is? It's a nat 20.
Oh,
So Butch with a
so
19.
does Orpheus play with Butch or just crush him?
Yeah, Butch with a 19 and Orpheus with a 28. You guys lock arms. It takes a second, but then Orpheus, you can feel your opportunity to take him out. You notice that while it seems like Butch is giving it his all, you are not. You are primed. If you want to, you can just slam it down.
Ah, that was a good match, Butch. What'd you think, Elric?
Ah,
I don't feel any magical funny business from that. So yes, well done.
well, we'll have to go again on a different day. I think I'm tired from all that cooking. Did you like the fish patty?
I think the fish patty is what gave me the strength to win.
Oh, I don't know. I think I've had 2 of them myself already. Oh, Orpheus. I'm glad that we've met. All right, I think better go back down to the galley.
As Butch is walking away, I lean over to Elric. He still had fish lard on his hands. There was no way he was going to get a good grip.
Does him having fish lard on his hands means he got fish lard on your hand?
But I got the grip first.
Right. Whatever you do, clean your hands.
With that, Orpheus gives a broad elf culture pat on the shoulder
Nice.
and walks away to clean his hands,
Elf culture pat.
as Butch described.
What the fuck does that mean?
You know how the elves do that thing they do.
As
Yeah,
the
that thing we do that we've totally talked about.
as the rest of the day
There.
comes and goes, as you guys continue towards the Sealy Court, at one point you look over and you notice that the orb itself, about probably 2/3 of the way through the day, you take a look at the orb and you notice it is starting to slow down. It's back to the woo, 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 woo.
Ah,
That's what I was going to say. I went. So
Yeah.
my hypothesis was correct.
after I was done, obviously praying.
Am I gonna? Yep. I'm gonna do it. Arnon, do you need help with that?
I'm pretty sure that's something you're supposed to do alone.
Really? Because it looks like you're struggling really hard.
Well, I think you get out of it what you put into it, right?
Are you trying to receive a popped forehead vein?
I mean, if that's what it takes, I'm not sure. I mean, every time Butch does it, I'm not even sure we're supposed to talk about it.
Are there rules to this?
I mean, it's general societal, what's normally accepted and stuff. I'm sure. Do you talk about it?
If I had a particular god that I was communing with, I would like to think that I would at least feel confident or comfortable enough to mention it as much as Butch does. Otherwise, what's the point?
Now I'm confused. I thought Elric thought I was trying.
Wait a minute. I think we might have crossed some things.
Did you say you guys thought I was bound up?
Butch did because
Okay.
he was the one that rolled the 4 on
thinks you
insight.
need to shit.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious from your, body language. You're either trying to not poop your pants or trying to poop your pants.
Here I was having a double entendre conversation with. I was talking about praying, and I thought he was talking about constipation, but he was talking about praying too. Okay.
That's ironic.
If Arnon thinks that Elric was talking about thinking that you're constipated, that's a very strange set of
Arden
responses that I
thought
gave
you were
you.
talking about praying because he was
Okay.
talking about praying. Scott thought you were talking about constipation.
As did I.
The
See?
fact that could have
Perry
been
was with
taken
Scott.
both ways.
I think it'd be two things.
A thing could be two things.
Look, if you're constipated, keep that under a bushel.
I kind of want Arnon to think that Elric was talking about constipation. I just
Arnon definitely thinks you were talking about praying because that's what he was talking.
okay. That's
Seriously, Scott thought
it's just like the
Elric was-
levels of goofy this is man.
Yeah, Elric went off script the moment he mentioned prayer.
yeah. It's like, wait, what? We're actually talking about praying?
It's like
Okay.
of course we're talking about praying. What did you think I was talking about?
What did you think I said?
It's like that's what I was talking about. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was like a personal relationship with your God. Should I talk about it all the time like Butch? I don't really know that much about it to talk about.
Perhaps talking about it might point you in the direction of others who might know something. Perhaps you're not the only one that this god or goddess might be communing with.
I'm not so good on the talking with people about stuff. It actually suits me better to have it be a personal relationship. And I just
It's very well established that communication is an issue.
It's easier for him to stab.
yes, I speak with my hands and whatever instruments are.
That said, your issues with communication as they are, I thought perhaps I could offer my services as a potential intermediary.
Well, what do you mean? An intermediary.
So I have a spell called Contact Other Plane.
Oh. So you could message her directly?
Or go insane trying.
Go insane.
I'm sure my mind can handle it.
Insight check.
Well,
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Like, you can tell Elric's very sure of himself.
If Gwen were saying it, I would do it.
Can't you just accomplish this with a sending spell? Sorry, I'm up there.
Sending hasn't been working for him lately. What do you need? What do you need to know for that spell? Do you need to know her name or general description or?
Well, the more I know about them, the better.
I haven't described her at all. You haven't. Oh, I did.
vaguely,
I think you did.
Yeah.
Maybe once or twice.
When I talked about the dream that they sent me with the symbols and stuff, did I? I don't remember I talked about her.
However mysterious this celestial entity might be, I can, at the very least, magically make the attempt.
Okay, so I've found out a little bit about her, and she's a death pact angel. I know that. I don't know her name. She's in service to the Raven Queen. Know that. I've actually contacted her directly by going to the temple to the Raven Queen once. Either that or I had a whacked out hallucination from. I'm pretty sure it was. I talked to her directly. Mainly because she was complimentary, and just hallucination would just be negative towards me.
Interesting. Well, would you like to continue to attempt to pray by yourself, or
I'm done for the day. I spent like hours at it today. No
Right.
joy. Sorry, I'm picking up terms from Top Home, I think.
It would be a shame to hear absolutely nothing after spending hours.
Maybe she's busy. Maybe I got the same problem that you do with.
Possibly. The difference between contacting another plane magically and the sending spell is that I'm not as limited in what I can ask or convey. This being a more powerful thing, it would take me about 11 minutes to make the attempt.
Well, we got time.
We've got time.
Like
Do
5
you
more
have
days.
Do you have 5 questions?
3 questions.
Or up to 5 questions?
3 questions. No, I'm just kidding.
3 questions. 1 question.
Whoa.
You get 1 question.
What I've been concentrating on. I'm concerned about the path we're taking. I want to know if we really need this archfey, because I'm worried that when we try to go back, everything's going to be over. I mean, what if we go back and it's 10 years later and we
10 years later, 10 days, 10 years, 10 centuries.
Yeah, plus what did we do the last time? We don't even know. We don't even know. Can that be undone? Like if we lost time, can we get it back? Can they send us back in time? I don't know these things.
These are questions for someone who was most likely spending their time studying time magic. Or someone who's about to make a deal with a Feylord. Perhaps your god, goddess, death angel might be able to guide us one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I've been trying to ask her all day. Maybe I just, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it doesn't. It's not working, kind of like your scry thing. Maybe I need the candle. It definitely wasn't those bozos in the mask. It was probably the candle.
Perhaps with this spell we can at least see whether or not if it would work.
All right, well, I'm willing to try. Like I said, I mean, we need to know how much we pursue this Archfey deal. What, even just to know, like, what price is reasonable to pay. What's the point of our trip here if we come back and the war's over? What's the point of our trip here if we come back and everybody that we work for and know is dead?
What's the point of our trip if we come back and we've won?
Well, I was trying to, not deal directly with the existential dread of our pointlessness, but sure, that's a point.
Let's maybe
What if we
worry
came
about
back and none of it mattered? Don't tell Orpheus that. He's already in bed.
Yes, let's not give him more things to brood about.
I wonder if he could brood harder.
Okay. So I'm going to start.
Arnon never thought he would be outbrooded.
No, I didn't actually.
Orpheus found a way.
All right, so you are casting Contact Other Planes?
Yep.
Fantastic. I love it. I'm so happy that you got that.
I thought you might.
As you... would you like to describe what this ritual looks like as you are casting this spell?
So I find a chair. One that's as sturdy as I can possibly manage at a table. And closing my eyes, I recite an incantation that sounds something like, "O death angel of the Raven Queen, we beseech you 5 simple answers to 5 questions that vex us. Grant us your wisdom, your knowledge, that Arnon might continue to walk your path." Maybe a few extra words in there, but that's basically what I said, yeah.
Roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, buddy. Intelligence saving throw. Big money, no whammy, no whammy.
That's not good.
Uh-oh.
That is a natural 2 for a 12.
Oh, no. That's a lot of 5s.
Elric, as you release this energy and this incantation, you feel this pulse of energy escape from you, traveling to the ether, and then like feedback loop as you just hear this static reverberation in your ears and in your mind as the entirety of the world around you it starts off small and then grows and grows and grows until this piercing noise, this piercing pain in your head as you take 25 psychic damage. And would you like to explain to us what Elric going insane looks like to anyone around?
How familiar is anyone with Final Fantasy VII? Because there's a thing that main character Cloud does where he just starts weirdly, unsettlingly giggling to himself. You just hear.
Butch!
Coming.
Gwen! I think Elric's spell went bad. He said that he could either contact somebody or a second happened. If Butch doesn't
shout, Orpheus is going to come down as well.
Yeah, no, I'm getting there as fast as I can.
I mean, if Butch doesn't have greater restoration prepped, I would say that Gwen had it for the travel instead
I've
of
got it.
contagion. Okay.
She has it in her staff too, I think.
First
Does
thing
she?
I'll do is,
Okay.
if she casts it from her staff, does that use materials?
I don't believe so.
No, just use charges from the
Then we
staff.
should staff it.
All right. She'll cast it from the staff.
So she can cast that. I'm going to cast Calm Emotions.
Where's the staff?
So Butch casts calm emotions, and Elric, you feel calm. You're still insane, but you feel calm.
Well, that's an attack roll. No, it only has lesser restoration.
Oh, does it only have lesser? Yep,
We need
you're right.
greater. What's going on?
You don't know. You don't know what.
I mean,
you need.
I will. I think she would try less first.
Yeah, I'm sure she would.
So that's 2 charges. So cast lesser restoration for the staff.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh, nothing happens.
No effect.
What spell did he cast?
He was trying to contact another plane. He said.
Orpheus? Is Orpheus here?
Yeah. Orpheus, you came down, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but
I entered the room, bro.
No, we're on the deck. You just came over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're up on the deck.
Can Orpheus?
I had to go down below deck to wash off my lard hand.
Awesome.
Can Orpheus give Butch advantage on this arcane roll to know
Yes.
what about? Okay. We're trying to figure out what happened.
I'm trained in Arcana too, so
Okay.
I can help you as well.
With a
proficient.
14, I mean, it's some sort of clearly some magic affecting his brain. You're not completely
Let's see
familiar with what it is, but
Lesser restoration works or not.
I'd go ahead and cast it. It didn't do anything.
Okay. Bringing out the big guns.
While you're doing that, I'm kind of grabbing Elric's shoulders. Elric, talk to me, Elric.
Lord, but did you want with it?
Oh my god, I have to move him on the map to cast it? Son of a gun.
Kind of lightly slapping his cheeks. Elric, not those cheeks. Elric, Elric. Maybe if we hit him hard enough, he'll come to his senses.
No,
Should I try it?
not yet.
I don't know that hitting him would help with his head being. Unless he's an old.
Helped in a cellar. He told me.
God damn it.
It won't let me
Nice.
cast a stupid spell.
Butch is broken.
Do you?
I read your orbit. Look at the tip.
Select target.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Above board. It's going to be impossible to do that while that template's there.
Oh. How do I get rid of the template?
Whose template is it?
I got it. It's
Mine.
gone.
Yep.
So Butch, as Butch casts this greater restoration on you, you feel the magic flowing through you, and your mind becomes clear again. That fog. All of a sudden, you're standing there. You really have no recollection of the last couple minutes. You just remember attempting to cast this spell, and then extreme pain, and now you're here.
You all right, Elric? You were saying something about a Cotton-Eyed Joe.
Cotton-eyed Joe.
What were you guys trying to do?
He was trying to communicate with my patron.
Oh, the scary raven woman?
No, my patron, not her boss.
What's the difference?
The difference
Rank?
between an employer and an employee is
She's like middle management. I'm like labor, and the goddess is like owner or manager.
commands coming from the top down and all that. I take
Made
it
you go
from
insane? What does that mean?
I take it from the pain that I'm feeling in my head that I failed.
I assumed.
That's
Oh,
Butch, what did you
I
do
thought you were a
to make
wizard.
him better?
I cast. So Butch, from his pouch of diamond dust, pulls out a large handful. Actually, I don't know how much diamond dust is a
100
pieces worth.
It's a
Yeah, but what's the quantity? Is it like an ounce? 2
sure.
ounces?
We'll go with that.
Anyway, a couple ounces of diamond dust, and as he's doing the prayer with his holy symbol, like magical symbols, like religious symbols and the phases of the moon appear between Butch and Elric. They go into the dust. Butch blows the dust into Elric's face, thus completing the spell.
so I've just got diamond dust on my face.
You're
No, it actually disappears.
You did have a Twilight moment there for a second though, before it faded into your skin.
The whole
like
of
a-
you.
I like how Butch just randomly antiqued you.
No. Oh,
Bringing it back.
Again, for anybody watching on live on TikTok, if you head over to the Red or Blue app, you can see our stream with character cards and everything.
Indeed.
yep.
And glittery Elric. Just kidding. We don't have that much fine control, but man,
Yeah. No.
We need a
we
few
sure
more,
don't.
a few more patrons before we can start showing glittery Elric.
glittery Elric.
If you would like to send us your lewd glittery Elric fan art, though,
No,
that would be-
no.
Hey, there's an email for that.
Those
It's,
natural ones.
Emery
actually,
at
all that
HitTheBooksVids.com.
Stop. You stop. That's funny. Stop.
I mean, Elric, you're gonna.
Mm,
I mean, come on.
Don't. Do not.
Yes, no one thinks you're hot. I'm sorry, my bad.
Does
Yep.
someone know the resistance spell?
Resistance?
It's a cantrip.
I have mending.
Mending. Okay. That's not what I'm looking for.
Well, I got tired of no one else being able to repair anything, so I learned mending.
I cast Mage Hand and pinch Elric in the butt. That's about all I can do.
That'll probably cure his insanity. Good for next
Kickstart
time.
to burn it all down.
I'm gonna burn it all down. It could all go. It could all go tonight.
I don't know. We could do like a photo shoot and a calendar, get some boy shorts. I think it'd be fantastic.
I have a better idea. One that I didn't think of because in my hubris, I thought I could just handle it.
It's not like it was a cursed amulet.
No, indeed. Oh my
I
god.
don't know who Jerica Evans is, but you should absolutely send us your Lewd Elric fan art. Thanks, Jerica.
Oh, Jerica!
No,
yay!
Oh, God.
It is,
no.
Fantastic.
those natural ones at gmail.com.
Yep.
Oh god.
We will
We can
will
finally get
absolutely
the OnlyFans tier started.
we will absolutely show it on the screen as long
We
as
do
it
not
won't,
have an OnlyFans. Please tell me you don't have an OnlyFans tier.
yet.
Keep an eye on that Patreon, folks.
We will absolutely show it if possible, if it won't get us banned.
Terms of service allow.
Please, for the love of God, terms of service. Okay.
If I have
Just make
to,
it suggestive, but
if I-
not explicit.
if I have to, I do have a Sharpie though. I can black out certain areas.
Nice. I was thinking like we're gonna have a men of calendar.
Jesus Christ. All right, moving back.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Reeling her back in.
I mean, we can do Butch with a painted shell. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Okay.
literally what male turtles do when they're.
Reeling it back in.
As
Why?
a point
did
of
that
pride, as a point of pride, Elric is this. He's going to try it again,
He's gonna try it again.
except this time, it's going to cast Intellect Fortress first.
Okay.
This seems like a
Here-
bad idea,
here-
Elric.
Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an interesting situation, considering on multiple failed skill checks, typically the DC goes up if you fail once. So since this is similar, I'm going to say your DC is going to go up slightly.
That's fine.
We're going to say since the original DC was a 15, if you are casting this again, your DC is going to be a 20 on your intelligence save.
Just wait till tomorrow.
Absolutely not.
Go for it. Fucking do it.
Okay, so step one.
I mean, with your saving throw, that you still got a 50-50 chance, though. Because you have, what, plus 10 to your intelligence saving throw?
That's correct. And I'm
Do you
going
need
to.
do you need like any healing or anything before?
I probably will after this. But we're going to find out.
Oh.
So I verbally speak the weird magical sigil language to create what looks like spinning like a floating rune around my head. I then speak the same incantation to contact other plane.
Go ahead and make your intelligence saving throw. And no, Dad, my 11-year-old daughter is not drawing us the lewd fan art. Thank you very much.
Oh God!
Oh,
Oh
no.
God! Why?
Why?
Don't even put that out there in like the ether.
He responds,
Man.
he's like, Kay is a good artist. I was like, yeah, she is. That's not the point.
It's like, no.
All right, intelligence.
Slowly becoming an episode of South Park.
Intelligence saving throw at advantage because of Intellect Fortress.
Yep.
You get a 50-50
This is,
chance.
I don't think my aura of purity would help
50
you
50 shot.
because it doesn't cover insanity.
Oh, 23.
Man, that was close.
So you focus in on this being that Elric has, or that Arnon has described a couple times in the past, not really knowing a lot about this creature, but you are able to focus in. You see yourself, your vision kind of tunnels into darkness, and you find yourself standing in this Grecian style, like marble room with these large marble pillars. You look out, you see stained glass windows, multiple colors streaming through, bathing the floor in oranges and reds and blues and greens. From in front of you, in front of these large marble pillars, this shadow appears and encompasses your vision. As it coalesces, solidifies, you see this large, pale, angelic figure, large black wings, a golden scythe, sickle in her hand, porcelain skin, sharp, beautiful features staring down at you intensely. A feeling of almost adoration and fear mixed together as they stare intently down at you. Not saying a word and awaiting your response.
Can I tell whether or not this is like whether I feel like I'm actually there or whether or not it's just my perception of what's in front of my eyes?
Make an insight check.
Insight check. That's a 22.
With the 22, this feels very, very real. This feels... It's hard to distinguish. The only reason why you think that you haven't been transported somewhere is because there was no feeling of... When you've traveled between planes, you've had that feeling of falling, that transitional period between planes. There was none of that. This was an instant from the deck of the ship to this, which makes you believe that this is more of some sort of mental projection. But if it wasn't for that simple fact, you would think this was real. You would think you were physically in this space.
I wouldn't have to put the image of my patron into the player chat
Thank you.
so people can remember.
Another benefit of being a part of our Patreon.
She stands staring at you with the golden armor shining in the multicolored lights coming through from the stained glass window.
Here's hoping I ask this correctly. In looking up, I ask plainly, the time that we have already lost traveling out of the Feywild. Should we make a pact with one of the lords of the Fey to mitigate the amount of time that we're going to lose?
They look down at you. No motion of their jaw. No semblance of speech. Yet echoing in a dissonant cacophony of sound, you hear coming through, no.
Your voice cut out.
Basically, you hear coming from different sides, and the one word you can make out is no.
No. Next question. Is our mission still relevant?
Again, that blank stare towards you. See the darkness in the eyes, pupilless black voids. As no movements, and you hear that same dissonant cacophony of sounds coming together. Yes.
Is Arnon's attempt at prayer reaching you?
No.
How does Arnon reach you? Will Arnon, no, more specifically, will Arnon be able to reach you in time?
Unclear.
Last question.
Favorite pizza topping?
Favorite pizza? Yeah, let's just toss this question out.
What did I say that? That was a throwback. Was that this campaign?
I don't remember.
Maybe. It might be a callback from like early in the campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. I don't suppose you would know where I can
Find my pizza.
improve my.
Get it.
Where can I find?
Learn how to sneak.
God. How do I stop the clap of my ass cheeks? No.
What should we call our group?
Do it. Cannon.
No.
It's gonna be like Gwen's ghouls.
I'm not going to leave the naming of our group to the gods. That is for
No.
us mortals to decide.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
Them
Good, get a pretty
tomorrow.
divine name.
Yeah, it's true, technically.
If this goddess death angel wants to give us a name, they'll give it to us without me having to ask.
All of a sudden, we're known as Death Pact.
Go.
Oh no.
I didn't know that's all we needed to do. Hold on a second.
No.
Go forth, Arnon's Nefarious Adventure League.
Yes.
Merchandising.
Anyway, final question.
Okay, final question.
How do you spell hippopotamus?
Okay. Where should I seek more magical knowledge? I.e. spell scrolls. I want this goddess death angel to tell me where spell scrolls are at.
She points you to an obscure plane we'll never actually get to. Like those S steps are there.
Oh, fuck yourself, House. No, sorry. I couldn't help it.
I feel divinely attacked.
Unclear. Got to remember, it's one-word answers.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. Yeah.
And as that
Peace out.
yeah, as that final answer, the voice rings inside of your head. You close your eyes for a second. You feel this almost breeze hit your face. As you open your eyes again, you're back on the deck of the ship.
It's like, did we see his eyes open again, or like, is the change noticeable that he's back?
Make a perception check.
17.
Yeah, you can notice a little bit, like while he was under this spell, which in all reality for you all seemed to only last a couple seconds, but he was very stoic and sturdy and unmoving, and then you see him like almost like blank stare into space. But then you notice him blink a few times, and almost like the life comes back into his eyes.
I take it didn't backfire this time.
No. No, it didn't.
Did you get to her?
Yes.
She's pretty intimidating, isn't she?
It's one of the many words that I would use to describe her.
Well, out with it.
Strange.
What did you find out?
Did Sid just show up?
Sorry. That's the character there.
Our mission is still relevant. It still needs doing.
Do we need to go to these Fey?
No.
Flat out no, huh?
Of the 5 things that I asked, She gave me the answer unclear a couple of times. We're making a deal with a Feylord to mitigate our time loss. She said no.
Huh. Not
You know,
what I
I-
was expecting, but I guess I should have.
You know, I asked her whether or not your prayers are reaching her. They're not.
I'm doing
I
it
then-
wrong.
I then asked if some day you would be able to commune or better commune. That, she said, unclear. There might be something you need to do or something you haven't acquired yet.
Need to figure out how to pray correctly.
We're on the right track. That's what matters.
Butch will look up, see if he can make eye contact with Ernan.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong?
We can talk about it later. You might not be doing nothing wrong. I mean, we can talk about it later.
Okay. Feels like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know.
Wait, is that what you were trying to do earlier?
Yeah, I was looking for answer. Trying to reach out to her.
That makes a lot more sense now.
Nick, what do I roll to lie?
Deception. Not very good at it.
That is an average lie.
Butch says, okay.
Nailed it.
Definitely didn't think you were doing anything else.
I know that Butch is lying, but I'm not sure about what. Okay.
Wow.
Is that why you gave me the fish? To help me pray?
No, I
just
brought
thought it
you the
was him.
fish because it's delicious and I wanted to share it with you because,
Okay.
you're my friend. I'm sorry. You're like family. I'm sorry because I thought you would like it.
As at this point, throughout the course of the day, it's starting to crest into evening. At least that's what your body is starting to tell you.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do, guys? Are we gonna keep going to this court?
Well, if we don't need a Fey, do we even need to?
All right. So what was the question that you asked specifically?
I specifically asked whether or not we should beseech a Feylord with helping ease our loss of time when we travel out of the Feywild.
Did you say should or need? That's
Fey,
a very big difference because should is asking for their opinion. Need is asking about a fact.
you said Fey Lord, not Arch Fey.
Just above board, Fey Lords and Archfey, are those synonyms, or did I ask about the wrong thing?
I mean, you asked your question was if you should. I'm trying to remember exactly how you worded it. If you should beseech a Fey Lord to help mitigate time dilation, more or less.
Yeah.
And they said no. Fey Lord, as far as you are concerned, you may have been using the terms interchangeably. However, now that you think about it, you're not sure if those terms are actually interchangeable or not.
It.
Hey, it's me again. Funny thing, last time I said
Oh no.
It seems I might have fouled up my semantics.
The Fey realm is the land of semantics, that's for sure.
Yep. I'm okay.
oh boy.
Guess what I'm gonna do.
Are you doing it again?
No. It's late.
I'm gonna do something real stupid, and I'm gonna do it again.
You're doing it again?
No.
How long does your intellect fortress last?
An hour.
Okay, so at least that's still up.
Well, before you proceed with this madness, Elric, perhaps you should lock down 5 more questions,
Yes.
just in case you're successful against all odds.
Like we could write them
that's a very
down.
good
We could
point.
brainstorm them.
Okay,
We could do it
let's
tomorrow.
let's come up
mean,
with 5 questions.
Archfey.
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 I apparently need to be very clear. Archfey.
Hey, it's me. Okay.
hey, Death Angel. It's me again.
Some guy.
Long time no see.
So, funny story.
Elric, when you ask the questions of the entity, are they allowed to lie to you?
Well,
Or
I
do
mean,
they just answer the way they want to?
well, she's the one that sent us here, basically. So
I understand.
we're kind of on her mission. So
So you're sure that she recognized you?
I mean,
You introduced yourself. All right. Maybe I need to write you a primer for interacting with.
hey, Death Angel, it's me, Elric.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's me, Elric.
Like-
You know, that guy who managed to magically put myself right in front of you. I don't even know if you guys take offense to that or anything, but here I am.
Here I am. I'm a wizard.
Yeah, just
Using my
magically
magic.
magically breaching these walls and talking to you directly. So,
You arrive while they're in the middle of the bath.
She just reaches out and pats you on the head.
I don't know how to take that.
Shower.
I think that's that elf tradition.
tradition.
Head pets would be an elf thing. It totally would.
Yeah, because you're better than everyone else.
That's how we say, oh, Hilton.
Hmm.
Are you doing it again, or are you continuing with your life?
Yeah. I'm doing it again.
Oh my god.
That's the most defeated DM voice ever.
Can we do
You
that next
know,
Tuesday?
it is completely in your purview, DM, to say, "Hey, yeah, you do it again, and we'll get into that next week.
Oh, I know.
But we can totally do it right now if you want.
We can totally do it right now.
Okay.
Fucking send
Okay.
it. I don't care.
Okay, I'm trying it again while my concentration's still up. Cast it at 6th level. Since I used both of my 5th level spell slots. I really hope we don't fight anything at night.
There you
Oh,
go
wait.
with the
No,
Inception shit.
Oh, wait, no. You know what? It's a ritual.
Yeah, it's a ritual.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid spending the spell slot, and I'm just going to cast it ritualistically.
Go for it.
All right.
Oh,
well,
I
we're
thought
just
that's what
gonna
you did
go-
before because you said 11 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think I mistakenly just took it off and forgot to take off the consume spell slot. No, this time.
Orpheus
So-
is prepping a leather bit from armor
Fantastic. Go ahead.
just in case.
Go ahead and make your intelligence
Make-
saving throw again.
Since this is going to be 10 minutes, Butch is going to leave. He's going to go talk to Mary about the possibility of making fish steak jerky.
Okay.
I'm going to go. I'll be right back.
Wow. That is a
Nice.
29. So again, without issue, you enter that same, you close your eyes, open them again, and you're standing in that same marble pillared room. The figure emerges in front of you again. No words, no indication of any kind of emotion on the face, just staring blankly down at you.
Can't tell if it's approving, disapproving. Like a sphinx. I can't really read where she's. You know what? I'm just gonna ask. Actually, you know what? First, Butch said I should introduce myself, so that's what I'm going to do. Apologies for my previous ill-mannered asking of questions. I am Elric of Menzo Berenzon,
Minty Baron.
compatriot of Arnon. Last name unknown. Have you told any of us your last
Yes.
name? Okay,
Yeah.
you've said it out loud. Okay, so I
Yeah.
can say it with confidence. Arnon Desalor. I return to you to
At the turning of the tide.
ask clarifying questions. Would would an archfey, desperately trying not to say Fey Lord, would an archfey be capable of mitigating our time loss upon leaving the Feywild?
Yes.
This is where I ask the opinion. Should we not consult? Should we make a deal with an archfey for that purpose?
No.
Do you know what the price would be that a Feylord would ask for such a thing?
About 350.
Goddamn you, Loch Ness Boston.
I want my trip in it.
Unclear.
Okay.
Did you just hang out in this room all day?
Yeah,
What is your
keep in mind
favorite
that,
color?
You don't have to ask about our current situation. You could ask about our future or about Rhett or about any number of things.
Ooh,
that is true. That is true.
Nice to know if Rhett's still alive.
Is Harriet Grundle Tractor still alive?
Yes.
Your voice filter takes out a lot of the.
I know.
Yeah.
I noticed the green box wasn't lighting up.
Okay. One last question. I got one last question.
How you doing?
Can't,
Yes.
I hate it.
how you doing? No.
66 psychic
Roll
damage.
seduction.
No.
I'll take three more.
I'm in a.
Ask her if it fell when or her when she fell.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
No. I'm in as committed a relationship as a soldier who goes off to war all the time can possibly be in.
What happens in the Feywild?
Nope. No.
Should I burn down the Feywild?
Oh, you know what?
All signs point to yes.
Yeah.
One more question.
One more question.
Do you have about
Is-
You have about 350.
Is an alliance with the Sealy Court possible?
Not likely. And with that, you blink again and you're back on the deck of the ship.
Okay, this time too?
Yes, and I've managed to get some clarification. I keep forgetting how exact I need to be.
Orpheus kind of slowly puts the leather bit behind his back.
Eyes narrow for a second. While a Feylord would not be of any help to us,
Butch comes back up to the deck.
an Archfey would. She's still advising against us making a deal.
Maybe whatever deal they want would end up losing us more time than no deal.
Hmm.
That lost time could take the form of servitude. Which I'm strongly against. Especially in this place. I do
Well?
have some good news. Red is alive.
Oh,
Oh,
Hearing that, or you see it very visibly relieved Orpheus, where he'd been carrying a lot of tension since the incident. You see him kind of relax with relief.
good. Good question.
But as far as your Death Angel is concerned, we're not likely to find her again.
Oh. Didn't just God say she was on a different path now? So
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's too bad, but it makes sense. At least we know she's alive.
Given that I got clarification using more precise language, not likely should also be treated as precisely. That means while there is a possibility, apparently the possibility is very slim. Of us running into Harriet Grundle Tractor again.
Oh. Well, wish you the best.
We should all wish her the best.
What did you ask for your last question?
Sorry, I'm spacing. I'm
Silly
having a
Court
what
Alliance.
did.
If
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. For a minute there, I'm forgetting what I just said.
I was trying to figure out a irrelevant shopping question first. You didn't ask a shopping question.
No, not that time. I was tempted, but not that time.
Do you know where they have a clearance on spell scroll?
It's like, can you lead me to a shop in the heavens for spell scrolls? I would. There's a few that I'd really like to get my hands on. No, I asked whether or not it was possible to have a alliance with the Sealy Court. That was the second time she said not likely.
Well, that was the answer I was trying to get all day. So I know I probably changed my vote to turning around and heading for the Twilight Coven, but maybe I should wait for Gwen to chime in.
Right, Gwen has been uncharacteristically silent all day.
Yeah.
Probably got a new bone or something.
Perhaps trying to freak out and sneak up on someone by sticking to the ceiling.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, it sure is. I wouldn't know about that from personal experience at all. In either case, it's possible that a Fey, an Arc Fey, could help mitigate our time lost. We just don't know how much they're gonna ask.
Yeah.
It's a decision that I think we might need to sleep on before we commit to doing such.
Well, if the big scary celestial says don't do it, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, same.
And what say you, Arnon?
Skip the Sealy. Go take care of this coven. And then see what happens when we get out of here.
That sounds like our course is decided. Captain,
Yeah.
anybody see the captain?
Yeah. What do you need?
Change course.
All right. We heading towards that glowy beacon thing?
Right.
All right.
We are making our way for the Twilight Coven.
All right. Hold on. Here we go. Flips the wheel. Basically does almost a complete 180. and starts heading towards kind of intercept trajectory to where you guys just came from. And as you do that, if there is nothing else that you are trying to accomplish in this during this day of travel,
I think the only other thing that Elric is going to do is just say out loud.
Hmm.
Let's not lose any more of our troop.
so as you
Did she grab you by the face?
I didn't touch her. She didn't touch me.
Man. First time she grabbed me by the face, I was like bleeding out of my eyes. It was pretty intense.
So you all,
I'll count myself fortunate then.
as you complete this conversation, it is getting late in the day. You all find your rest specifically. Or not specifically, you know what I mean.
Pacifically.
Pacifically, yes.
Yeah.
Atlantically. So you all find your rest as some of you sleep, some of you go into your meditation. Elric,
Hmm?
as you find your quarters, you drift off into your trance. Suddenly you find yourself aroused. Wait.
What? Why?
I didn't.
Somebody's dreaming of a Misra.
Sorry.
That's,
Phrasing.
I didn't.
You've,
I didn't think we were doing ERP, but you know,
no.
for the views, I guess.
You find yourself woken, but you're not on the ship. You find yourself in a cave, a dim, dark, dreary, damp cave. From around you, you hear you look around. Scurrying up the walls, you see multiple large spiders throughout. At first you see 2, 6, 8, 12, 20, 50, the walls coated in these large spiders. You look left and right. You see one tunnel leading out of this cave room. You see a torchlight illuminating, flickering on the wall of a corner as the pathway continues around to the right. You see that glowing, flickering torchlight. Suddenly, a shadow appears. A large, 8-legged, bulbous shadow. But on top you see a silhouette of a humanoid figure attached to the back of this large arachnid creature. Starts growing. The shadow starts growing. And right before it's about to turn the corner, your eyes flash open and find yourself back on the ship. And that is where we will pick up next week. So, thank you all for joining with us. And we will see you in 1 week.
Or hopefully I don't roll a net natural one resisting the call of Lolth.
Have a fantastic night, and we will see you next week.